those of you that are in the central United States or to the east, and good morning still for those of you to the west. My name is Marilyn Holle. I am on the transition team, and we have my esteemed colleague, Colin McGovern, who's also on the transition team. So we're going to talk today about what is MoxiWorks. So let me get the recordings. Yeah. Oh, well, I just paused it. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. All right. So I want to welcome everyone. And what I'm going to do first is we're going to do a high level presentation, just an overview about MoxiWorks. And then I'll go live and show you what it really looks like and what you'll be able to see when you actually launch. Let's see if I can get this. Okay, so, all right, it's just taking a minute.
Yeah, I can see your screen coming up.
Can you? Okay, I just got a white screen.
Yeah, it is.
Huh. I wonder what that means. All right, so don't we love, let's see, let me stop sharing for a minute and see what is going on. That is weird. So while I'm finding it, I will let you know, we went out and to find a product to help you do more business, to work smarter and not harder. And one of the biggest, I hate to say, the biggest complaints that we've had in the past is we have so many wonderful tools, but none of them talk to each other. If you're familiar with Business Builder and Zap and Toolkit CMA, those are just three of them that they're wonderful tools, but they don't have any type of integration with each other. So what is wonderful, and you're going to hear me say it, you're going to hear Colin and our other teammate, Andy Prebish, talk about the beauty of the MoxiWorks platform, that all of the tools are integrated and they talk to each other and they go back and forth and share data. And when you have to complete one activity in one tool, it will just shoot you right over to the other. So that seamless integration, or that transition that makes it so smooth for you to be able to do continuous business. And it really, like I said, work smarter, not harder, is a huge benefit of this program. So now let me see if I can get this again. See if it's not going to be, there we go, whoops. So, all right, I think I'm gonna get it now, Colin. So in just a second, if you can verify that you can see.
I can see it.
Okay, awesome, yay.
Perfect, well
Sorry
done.
about that. So basically what MoxiWorks is they are an outside vendor. We went out and we found someone that is an expert in that field of providing tools for real estate agents across the country. And it's a wonderful platform. So what we're going to talk about is the suite of products and what does MoxiWorks provide you? Well, there is that suite, and we've got Moxie Present, which is more than just a CRM or CMA interactive builder. If you're familiar with Toolkit CMA, you'll realize that it was a great product. You could build a CMA, a good listing presentation, but it was static in nature and it was in a PDF type format. What you're going to find with Moxie Present is it's not only static, you can print it out if that's what you want, or save it in a PDF static format, but there's also a live version. So that's what really takes it to the next level and makes it a really cool product for you to share with not only your sellers for listing presentations, but for buyers and for, there's other tools, other presentations that you can build for different purposes. And then we have Moxie Engage. That's our CRM product, the client relationship manager product that we have. And it is very interactive. It is tied to the MLS. It helps you stay on top of your goals, lets you know where you are in relationship to the success or the achievement of those goals. There's online campaigns. There's all sorts of tools that are in that platform. And then we have Moxie Impress. And I tell you, I don't really like to say, kind of like my children, I can't say that I have a favorite child. I don't know that I have a favorite tool within the MoxiWorks suite of tools that they have. But one of the ones that I really, really love is Moxie Impress. And the reason I like it that much is because you really don't have to do anything. You have to lift just a little bitty tiny pinky finger to be able to take advantage of the marketing platform that it creates for you when you have a new listing. And then we have Moxie websites, and these websites are much more robust than any that we've had in the past, that you can do as little as you want or as much as you want to enhance them. So we're going to talk about each one of these 4 tools, and then I'll go in and I'll show you live. But first, let's talk about Moxie Present. So this is a presentation builder. There are so many opportunities that you have when you're building these presentations. Just like I said earlier, we definitely know we can build a listing presentation to present to a seller. You can present a buyer presentation. There's even a buyer's tour. And then there's a non-listing presentation for whatever purpose you might want that you can build presentations with. So, and it gives you that live and dynamic feature, like I mentioned earlier, that it's not static. It's not simply a PDF or something that you would print out or save that is, caught in time. It is a live presentation. So what we'll see is when you create a listing presentation, let's say that you add some active listings in your CMA portion, and you send that as the web version, and your client looks at it maybe 3 days or 3 weeks down the road. It's number one going to show them that the date is today, whatever that date is, no matter when you created it. But if you had some active listings 3 days ago, 3 weeks ago, and now they've gone pending or possibly even closed, or those pendings have closed, it will show that real-time up-to-date data and give you all the details, or give them all the details about that transaction. So it's a really great way for you to show off your skills and the technology that you have to offer. Like I said, we have buyer tours. They have virtual open houses. There are some market updates. And you can also do some on-the-fly editing. So that data is live. What's really great is that you can, when you send these reports or these web-based presentations, especially to a buyer, that gives them the opportunity to make some on-the-fly comments. They can go by and look at these homes. Maybe you set them up on an open house tour on a Saturday when you can attend with them, and you encourage them to make some notes on each of the homes that they visit, so they can do that. So it's a really great way for them to be able to stay on top of what they're seeing and try to remember all of the details. And I hate to keep saying this, but it's not like the old school static. I know I've heard Andy say, Toolkit was a great tool, but when you look at this, it's going to look like Toolkit was a 1995 technology product, because this is so advanced in the technology, on the technology side, and with that interactive piece as well. Now, this is just a vision of what the listing location map looks like. So if you set your buyers up with a buyer's tour, or even you send them the list of the homes that you're going to be going to look at, and it will automatically create a route for them that makes the most sense geographically. Now, you can edit that. So let's say that one of the homes has a really beautiful view, maybe of the water, the mountains, over a cliff, whatever you might have in your local area. And you say, I want to make the biggest impression at the very end. That way there's this huge crescendo, and then they're going to say, wow, I love this. So you can alter that route, and you could say, okay, I no longer want this particular property to be seen number 6. We're going to make it number 8, or maybe you want to do it first. You want to start off with a big bang, and you say, I want this one first, and then we'll look at the others. So you do have that option to change that route, but it's really a great way to be able to provide your buyers a roadmap, a pathway that they don't even have to think about. They don't really even have to look at their own GPS. They can look at this and they say, okay, now we know which one is next, and we know the route that we're going to be taking. All right, let's see. Come on. There we go. And like I said earlier, there is a place for them to be able to make some notes. They can review the listing that they looked at. They can give it a star rating. That way, when they get back home, especially if they're looking at more than 1 or 2 properties, or they're looking at properties multiple days, they all tend to run together a lot of times, especially if the buyer maybe is new to the area and is unfamiliar with some of the neighborhoods. Then it would really be a great way for them to put the notes in there and say, okay, I really like this neighborhood. I loved how, you know, the tree-lined streets when we drove in, and so on and so on. But they have the ability to make those notes, and then they can go back later and they can discuss if they have a partner or a spouse or their family or friends or whoever they're looking with. They can go and they can discuss, and they can all share their notes. They can also share these presentations with others, so they can make notes as well. All right, this is very slow. I apologize. Okay, so and just like Toolkit CMA, it does create a printed presentation. So if that's something that you would like, if you would like to have something that's printed out with each of the properties that you're going to look at, you can do that. It does all of that for you, and you can do it in landscape or in portrait format, either way. And it's something tangible that you might be able to present them. Now, this says here that agents and teams who use Moxie Present, they earn more than 1.5 times those agents that don't. Now, this is because a lot of times these agents are very engaged. They also are utilizing the tools that they have at their fingertips and really making a big impression on the buyers and sellers that they're working with. Now, like I said earlier, I don't have a favorite, but I absolutely love Moxie Impress because there's really not much that you have to do with this product. So what it does is it includes an automated marketing package once you get a listing in the MLS. One thing I failed to mention earlier is that what was a really cool tool or piece of the MoxiWorks platform is it is tied to the MLS. Anything that is agent related, like your photo, your contact information, your MLS number and name and all of that kind of stuff, that is fed from our back office system called Dash. You may or may not be familiar with that, but everything that is transaction related comes from the MLS. So as an agent, as soon as you get a listing in the MLS, within up to 24 hours, sometimes as low as just 2 to 4 hours, depends on the speed of your MLS and the time of day. But within a 24-hour period, you will have a marketing package that has already been created for you for that listing. You don't have to do anything. The only thing that you have to do is go into the portal and decide how and where you're going to send the information. There are just listed pieces. There's an open house, a price reduction, just sold. So once the property shows that it's closed in the MLS, it does take a little bit longer for the sold material to be created. It is most likely within a 48-hour period, but still gives you time to be able to go out there. It's still relevant and send some of that just sold information out. Now, these are some of the presentations that are designed for you. There's an e-postcard. There is a flyer, there's a virtual tour. Now the virtual tour and the property website, those are in addition to what we already create for you with the unique property websites and the videos that are created. Also, there's social media pieces. So you don't have to worry about creating content to showcase your new listing or your just sold transaction on any of your social platforms. It's already done for you. You just go right in there and you can grab it and go send it, and then you're on your way. There's also a way for you to monitor the viewings and to track openings. If it's an e-postcard, there's also print postcards and print flyers, so you can print those out, especially if you're doing an open house. If you wanted to go and put them, you know, or do invitations to properties that are around the open house, then you could definitely have that print function as well. Now, talks about the magic of the automation. The way I look at it, the magic of the automation is that you get that listing in, any changes that are made, it's automatically done. And then of course, when it's closed, all of this is done for you. You don't have to lift a finger. The only fingers you have to lift are those that are needed to go into the platform and to send it out or to utilize it in the form that you're looking to use it for. I love that right there. It's all done for you, and it continuously changes when you make changes, and it makes it look like you have created that magic and you've done everything that you can to market that property, to get that home sold in the quickest time for the highest price, just like the seller is wanting. And as we transition into a different market, this is going to be really, really important for you to be able to go out and win those listings and to keep the listings and to show those sellers, this is what I'm doing for you. This is how I'm going to market your property. And we're going to be able to try to overcome some of maybe the obstacles that we might have in the near future, because we are in a transitioning market. Now, there's a one-stop marketing center. This is what it looks like when you see a piece of material. Depending upon what the product is, the distribution method would be different. We've got the digital piece, we've got the print piece, and then we've got the social marketing piece. So if you have a print marketing piece that you want to send out, obviously you would not have the option to publish to web or to email. You would have to download the PDF. You see the share on Facebook or to tweet a link. That would be the social media. And then also the digital marketing would be if you wanted to email it. You can download certain images as well. And one cool thing too, it may be a little late in the game, but when you put a sign in the yard for one of your listings, once this is created, there are QR codes that are created for you as well. So you could come here, grab that QR code, and then go put it on a rider on that sign within a day or two of getting the listing. So there's many different purposes and reasons that you would want to use Moxie Impress. Now, Moxie Engage, I've been reading a lot this week, especially about what's going on in the industry and how we're going to handle this transition, and all these experts and their opinions and their foresight of what's going to happen. But one thing that is a common element in everything that I've read and what I have known in my past experience is staying in touch with their sphere of influence is so very important for you to reach your goals, to reach the success level that you're looking for, to be productive, whatever the case may be. Your SOI is so important. And even if we do see a huge downturn, which I'm very optimistic that it's not going to be that big, but if we do have, we are having a transition right now, staying in touch with that SOI is so important. Moxie Engage can help you do that, and it can help you with very little effort on your part. So again, here are some statistics from the MoxiWorks team. Says that those that have proven to boost sales volume by an average of 54%, this CRM system. So not to guarantee any results if you are to use it, but this is based on past experience with agents that have used the MoxiWorks platform, just like the claim that we saw earlier with Present. These are past performances, and but we hope to see something very similar. But there is no guarantee that that would happen. But just know that the more you use a CRM system, and a very robust one, then the more chances you are going to have to be more successful, to see an increase in your production, whether it be volume, number of units, and just overall production. Then that is really going to help you. Now, what Moxie Engage includes is there are campaigns, there are electronic campaigns, there's email campaigns, the neighborhood news. This is huge. This is included not only in Moxie Engage, but also in the website. And then there are some e-blasts that you can use. There is a stay and flow that helps you stay on top of reaching out to your sphere of influence, your SOI. There's also a to-do list, and there's a to-do list that you can put personal items. And when I go live, I'll show you that. And then also some task-oriented to-do list as well. It also, like I said earlier, if you set your goals when you activate your Moxie Engage, it will help you stay on track of where you are on the achievement of those goals. Just like I said earlier, this is tied to the MLS. So once a property is closed, it will help you track to see how close you are to reaching those goals. And then there is some, you have access to your listings, and you can send out listing alerts, not only for your listings, but you can also set people up on a listing alert for all listings that are in the MLS that you are a member of. So it is a true relationship management. This is what the sales flow looks like. This is your main dashboard when you get into Moxie Engage. And it lets you know how many people you have in each of these stages or these phases. In this particular case, Victor has 2 people in the marketing phase, 17 that are prospects. The actives mean they truly are actively engaging in a real estate experience. And of course, pending is, I think we all know what that means, but the marketing is just when you're very beginning to touch them and you're reaching out, you're trying to get them some engagement going on. Then you look at them and they're being a little bit closer to being a prospect, or getting them actively having a listing appointment, or actively in your car, driving them around looking at properties. So that sales flow gives you an idea of what you've got in your pipeline. And then the stay and flow are those activities that it recommends that you do. It gives you 5 different names every single day for you to reach out. And it even gives you some recommendations on how you could reach out to them based on the contact information that you have in Engage. So there is an automated email piece as well. The neighborhood news is phenomenal. It is not just a newsletter. It is based on market statistics and metrics. Let's say you can do it by a geographic area. You can do it by a zip code. You can do it, you can set them up on several different ways where they can receive information. I have been set up on one, so I get that neighborhood news on a monthly basis. It lets me know what the median sales prices in my area are, the days on market going up or down, are the pendings going up or down. Really good, relevant information that someone that lives in an area, even if they're not thinking about buying or selling, it just lets them know what's going on in the market. So it's extremely relevant. A lot of times we hear these numbers, just like I said earlier. I've been reading a lot this week, and I try to every week, but definitely this week I've been doing a lot. And a lot of what I've seen is on a national level. So this breaks it down to something that is meaningful to that recipient. And they can watch the news, they can read articles, and they can see things on a national perspective. But this drills it down to where they live and what's really important to them. This is basically what it looks like. So this is just a snapshot of what that newsletter looks like, and they can look to see the market changes. They can, in the last 12 months, they can look at, like I said, the median, the days on market, the list to sold price, because especially sellers. I don't know about you, but in my last few days in actually active listing properties before I joined Century 21, I noticed that my sellers were getting a whole lot smarter than they had been in the past, because we have so much information, or they have so much information at their fingertips. So they like to see. I remember someone saying, well, I know that homes in my neighborhood are selling for 97% of list price. So if I want to get X amount, I need to at least list it for 3% more. And I was like, Florence, like, how did you know that? So sellers are very smart. They've got a lot of information, and this will really help them utilize you and see you as the expert in all things real estate, instead of them having to go to another resource. Again, this lets them know there are listings. You can look at the listings. They can actually even change the zip code, because it is live, it is interactive. So if they say, you know what, I don't want to be in 77546 anymore, I think I want to go 77573. So they can type that in and see. As long as it's still in the same MLS that you belong to, it will give them the data that they want or need while they're looking at that monthly piece. So what's really cool about the neighborhood news is and I'm stealing some thunder from the website, but when you have a visitor on your website, they can register to get this. And when they do on the website, it automatically puts their name and contact information in your Moxie Engage platform. So it's a pre-built lead generation tool. Now, these are some manager functions for Moxie Engage. It allows the managers to help agents to be able to help you as agents stay in flow, stay in touch with your sphere of influence, so that if you have maybe a need, then you can go to your manager and say, hey, listen, I've got a question about the tool, or I need some help for me to be able to reach out to these people that are going to stay in flow. Now let's talk about the Moxie website. It is a very robust website, and you can do as little as you want. There's only 2 minimum activities that you absolutely have to do to be able to publish your website. They're very simple, but you can do as little as you want or as much as you want. I have seen some websites that are phenomenal. They've got videos, they've got all sorts of information about the community that the agent is working in, the local market, and they're just, it's wonderful. It is built on a PowerPress platform. So if you're familiar with that, or if you have someone in your close network that understands that, that can help you enhance yours, they'll be impressed, because it definitely is a really good way to build websites. You can add custom pages, you can add links, and then you can drive the traffic there so that you can get leads. Now, I will say, when you get a lead on your website, or you get a visitor to your website and they reach out, they want to visit a property, they want to view a property, they want to get more information, then those leads will come to you. So again, it is integrated with the MLS. So it will have all of the listings in the local MLS on that particular, on your website. And it allows your visitors to search through all of the listings on the MLS. Now, there is a branding palette that can, where you can update the DBA logos. There are some features, and some of those it's fully responsive. It has that IDX capability, and then that lead capture. There is a contact me form there, and you can enhance. Like I said, you can have additional pages. You can break down and have custom searches that are specific to maybe, certain neighborhoods or markets, if you will, sub-markets within your local MLS. And then it gives them also the search near me location. They also can search for properties they can freehand draw, they can filter by schools, they can do a boundary, and they can also do a radius. So let's say that you have someone that's visiting your website that works at, let's say, a college or university, or the medical center, and they have to be on call. They need to be within 15 to 30 minutes. Then you can draw that, and then it will also, you could say, at a specific time of day. So if you are in a metro area, let's say, okay, at 7:30 in the morning, I need to be 30 minutes away from this location, then it will draw the map and it will find listings for that visitor to your site that meet that criteria based on that time of day. So really a great way for the visitors to your website to gain insight on what's going on in the market, and also to be able to see what is available. And again, still this pre-built lead generation tool that can help you get leads and close more business. Now, what I'm going to do is I am going to go live. And first, what I'm going to show you is I'm going to log in. Let's see, where am I? I'm going to log into 21 Online, and hopefully, one thing I didn't mention at the beginning, this is just a very high level overview of what MoxiWorks tools are. So, you know, you might have been with us before. Hopefully, if you are, you're doing this so that repeating it, you can really absorb a lot of this information, but some of this may be new to you. So I apologize if you visited with us before, but every class that I do, I still like to go over how to access the MoxiWorks platform. So when you're in 21online.com, you'll go to the hamburger menu in the top right corner. And the productivity hub, I always say, should be your best friend. Now, I know my friend Colin likes to talk about how you can favorite tools within the platform, the 21 online system. And I totally agree with that. But sometimes I feel like, okay, I can't remember the name. And if I didn't favorite it, then go to the productivity hub. Now, these are called tiles. And if you have not favorited any of the tools, you'll see stars in the right corner. All you've got to do is click on them and they will go solid and go gold, and then you'll be able to find them in your favorites. And you click on the favorites bar here, and then you can just do a direct pathway to that tool. But let's say this is the first time that you're going to Moxie, so you haven't favorited it yet. So this is our most popular tools, and they are alphabetized. So what I want to mention is, you'll see I have an additional one, but I've got Moxie Engage, Impress, Present, and Website. It does not matter which tile you click on. What it will do, it will take you to a landing page for that particular tool. It will give you a little bit more in-depth knowledge. There's some Q&As, there's some information that's there. I highly recommend that you open up each one of these if you have not done so already, or especially if you haven't launched Moxie already. And then you read about and get as much information as you can on each of these landing pages. But regardless of which one that you open, when you click on the Access Moxie, and this says Access Moxie Engage, because I'm corporate, I don't have a Moxie Engage. It's going to give me kind of an error message, and we don't want to do that. But this is all the information. Like I said, you can kind of keep looking and going down to the bottom. There are some additional documents and some links where you can get some information. So if I were to click on the Access Moxie Engage, Moxie Impress, it doesn't matter which one, it's going to get me to this page. So this is the MoxiWorks hub, if you will, and it houses all of the tools. So regardless of which one that you click, you're going to get to the same place. Now, this is going to look a little different. This is a demo version, and it's on an Anywhere platform. So I don't have some of the Century 21 content, but it really shows you, gives you a good idea of what the platform has and each of the tools. So I'm going to stop just a minute. Colin, are there any questions, or is there anything before I move forward that I should cover? And I will take silence, meaning there are no questions.
I was on mute.
I didn't have the cup.
Exactly. Okay, so one of the questions was, must you have a listing to use Impress? What if you host open house for another agent?
So, you know, that's funny you asked that. You can share your listings with other agents, and then you can also go into Impress and you can share there. Now, I'm glad you asked that right now, because, you know, let's see, agent tools, and you'll go into listings, and that may not let us do it. We don't have any listings in this demo environment, but there is a way. Yes, so I don't have any active or pending, but you can share your listings. So now I will tell you, if you share your listings, it will share it with everyone in the company. So, and by that, then someone else in the company can come in and they can look at shared listings, and then they can create an open house flyer for you. Now, just know that it's already created for you. Now, if they're going to host it for you, you can send it to them, you can duplicate, and there's ways to do that since it's already created for you. But you can go in. What I didn't mention is it is automatically created for you, but you can create from scratch if you wish. if you have that kind of time or desire. Maybe you have an off the market or out of the MLS coming soon, which there is a way to do that. We don't have that access here, and that's a more advanced activity. But let's just say that you have a coming soon and you want to create a flyer for it. You can go into press and start that from scratch. So there is a way to share. Sorry, that was probably a long-winded answer to a short question. Any other questions, Colin?
There was a question about sorting high to low, et cetera, on the website, but I answered that in the chat.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and go in order and just kind of give you a taste of everything that each of the tools so you can see them live. So we're going to go into Moxie Present first. It just takes a couple of minutes to load, and my internet has been working fairly well today, so hopefully I won't have any issues. So just remember that Present is for presentations. We have some samples here. This is tied to a real MLS in Temple, Texas. So you can see it's in our teammate Andy Prebish's name. So Andy has some really high visible friends like Sting and I think Mick Jagger. So you'll see a few names that you might recognize. But what I wanted, this is, it automatically goes to my presentations. So these are the ones that he's created. Obviously, if you have not created any yet, they will not, you won't see anything. So I'm going to click on this one because Sting from the Police is selling this home. And of course, the color scheme and everything is all branded to Century 21. It looks really cool. You can scroll down. It says to scroll down to start, but if you see down over in the right corner, you can also click the up or down arrow to get to the one from one page to the next. Now, like I told you earlier, this is a live living document. I can't tell you when Andy created this, because it's probably been a while ago. It could have even been 2 months ago, but look, it has today's date. And this was the presentation. These are the pages that he selected. So you have the option there will be Century 21 presentations. And if your brokerage has created templates that are unique to your company or your market, then you'll have those as well. So you can choose, I'll show you just a minute, you can choose several different options, and you can add or subtract pages. So you don't have to use the templates that are available to you. You can customize those as well. You see Andy there's a photo here of him, his information. And as we scroll through, this is the property summary. It gives some information about the property. Also it gives here, and then the agent remarks. So this would be some remarks maybe that you normally would add into your listing presentation, because this is for a seller. And then as we move down, this is a page it's a test create page. So he's talking about what we do different, and he embedded a map. And when we have classes every single Friday, so the next 4 Fridays, we will go one tool per week. And we'll go in more depth, and you'll be able to learn how to put an interactive map in here like this. So because I can scroll in, or I can zoom out and see where everything is in relation to, let's say I'm not familiar with this market. It's in the central of Texas. Say, oh yeah, I've heard of Waco before, so now I know where this is. So it's a great way to add, some pizzazz to your listing presentations, or especially maybe even your buyer's presentations. And now this shows all of the comps that were selected. I cannot tell you whether or not these were actives or if they were closed when Andy created this presentation. But you see the tiles for each one of them. And as I hover over, if you notice the little red markings on the map highlight, so it lets me know that's where this is where the 175 is Upshaw, and then there's the arrow, and I can go over. Now I can click on any of these tiles, and it will pop up like a property profile sheet, if you will. It'll give some photos. These are all photos from the MLS. So your seller can look at these and say, oh, wow, I've been in that house before. They redid that bathroom. I didn't know that. So it kind of gives them an idea. They don't have to go outside. You don't have to give them anything extra. That gives information about the property and all of this. Now, let's see. This does not have, it does have a sold price, which is not supposed to happen in the state of Texas because we are a non-disclosure state. I believe the MoxiWorks team is working on that. So if you don't see a sold price, I know Utah is non-disclosure as well. There's probably other states that are that have that same feature. You should not see a sold price. Generally, it will maybe have a list price or maybe a range or something, or it may be missing. So don't think that it's broken. Just remember, if you're in a non-disclosure state and you don't see that sold price, that's why it's not there. So, and then some information, and all you've got to do is click that X. Now I take that back. There will be sold price in this. I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead of myself. And the websites, they won't show because that is open to the public. So when you're using for a CMA, you do have closed prices. Otherwise, you can't come up with a price. I'm sorry about that. And these are pages that Andy has chosen. So this is it is a comparison here, and it goes by line. It's a status comparison. So it has each of the comps and the subject property, and it breaks down percent of list, the sold price, and some of the information. My preference is generally to use a columnar format, just like this. When you're looking at the side by side, that's just the way it's easier for me to see. Maybe I'm just used to that, but having both and having some different data in each will really be able to get get across the point that you're trying to with your sellers. And again, we're scrolling down now. Let me just move this over. And if I don't want to keep scrolling, I can just go to the next page. This shows some more metrics on the home averages in the area, the average, the median, the low, and then we do a price and the days on the market. So you can choose to use these charts if you want, but just know that there's a trend line that's only used on the sold and the pending. So these that are outliers would be active listings. So that's why they are not included in that trend line. And here is another graph with price and size. And then the pricing analysis. So you have the ability to choose one price or choose a range when you're looking at the CMA portion. So, and then you can also create a net proceeds sheet. And because this is live, let's say you don't know what their current lien is or their mortgage balance is. So you know what a lot of these other fees, because you're fairly confident about what the title company, the closing costs are going to be. You can put all of those in, and while you're sitting there, you can add it into so that they can see, okay, if we sell it at 182,000, I'm going to get 85,580 net proceeds. You can also create 2 net proceeds, I believe up to 3 net proceeds sheets if you want. So you could do a high, an average, and a low. And then the very last page that he included here was just some information about him as the agent. So that is Moxie Present kind of in a nutshell. Now we're going to go into Engage. And what I really love about Engage is besides the stay and flow, and but I really love the goal, the goal tracking that it does for me or for you as an agent, and being able to tell me who I need to reach out to. And I have the ability as an agent, or you have the ability as an agent, to go in and to change or to set who you want to be in that stay and flow section. And you'll see these little tiles over here. You can drag and drop, and you can customize your dashboard. So if you really want to see what your goal completion is, we can just move that straight up to the top. Well, I got to the second piece. There we go. So Andy is 20% towards reaching his earned GCI of 100,000 for this year. Gives some stats: the close rate, the commission, the average size, and the number of transactions. Anytime you see the gear icon, then you can go in and you can change the settings. But again, here's a sales flow. You can click on each one of these phases, and you can see who is in the marketing, who's the prospect, and so on. The stay in flow. So Andy needs to reach out to me today, and Tom Brady, and Hobo Shoestring, and then Colin Coda Real Estate. So he's got to reach out to those 4. You slide the bar, and then there's one other one. And hey, Lori Partridge, if you don't know who she is, she was with the Partridge family, back in the 60s and 70s. She was a musician. So I told you Andy had a lot of high profile people that he knows. So this kind of gives you an overview of everything that you have going in your Engage. Now you can put people in here. They will automatically sync when you activate with your email. So let's say you're using a free Gmail account, then all of those contacts that are in that Gmail email will sync here. So you'll have them, you can come in and automatically see them, and then you can, add information and whatnot to them. And then we have campaigns. So there are all sorts of campaigns here. There's holiday cards that you can, e-cards that you can send, seasonal. There's neighborhood news. You can create e-blast and send those out, listing announcements. So here's an e-blast. Here's a shredding event. Let's say that maybe your company's offering that. So these can be created by your company. Some of them are customized, but some are from the brand, and then some are already created from the MoxiWorks team. So you can see there's multiple ways, multiple campaigns that you can utilize to stay in touch with your sphere of influence. This Engage is a minimum of an hour, even longer, to really go into depth. So I'm going to stop there because I could keep talking about it for a long time, because I want to touch on the other 2 products, the website, and it's going to automatically get you to your admin page. So you should see welcome to the admin agent at website admin tool. And don't be afraid of all of these items over on the left-hand side. You can click on any of these links. Some of them will open up there'll be multiple links to open up other activities to do. But what the MoxiWorks team has done for you is to take a lot of that heavy lifting off your shoulders and off your plate, and said, here are some common tasks that agents do to enhance their websites. So I told you there's only 2 activities that you absolutely have to do. You have to make it a secure site, and it's right here, apply SSL cert, and it says go there, and all you do is click on a button. And then it also tells you here to complete your site activation, you have to make it searchable to search engines. The reason that right up here it says search engines blocked, the reason that it is done that way is it gives you the opportunity to go in, look at the website, customize it to your desires and to where it really looks like what you want it to look like, and then it can be searchable. Those are the only 2 things that you absolutely have to do. Now, we're not going to talk about any of these activities. I just want to show you the site. So right here in the top left corner, you see visit site. That's all you have to do. Now, Andy has gone in and he has customized. He has put in a call of action. Call or text me at this number. He has updated the photo. There are 3 different designs that you can choose from. What we have found in the past is that when visitors go to the go online to look for real estate, they are really looking for real estate. So there is a search focused. There is an agent focused where it puts you front and center. And then there's one that you can customize from scratch. So our recommendation, and what we have found in the past for best practices, is to use the search focused, and that's what Andy has chosen here. So all you've got to do, if I'm on Andy's website, I say I want to look for properties that are in Temple, Texas. It's got his photo, his contact information, a little bio about him, and it's actually not about Andy, it's about another agent, but he just copied and pasted that here just for the sake of, so that's for demonstration purposes. But he's included a video, one of our videos that we have right now. And then let's see if there's anything else down below. Company listings, so you can choose what featured listings you want. He has created an open house search that's here as well. And then there's some useful links. If your state has any type of regulations or criteria that you have to have on your website, you can put links here, or there's also a place for you to customize them in the header or the footer. And then this is at the bottom. So he's got some pages here. He's got an About Me page. Here is the neighborhood news. So this is what I was talking about, that how important it is to be able to give the visitor to your website some information that is relevant to them, that is down on their local level. And is it going? Oh, here we go. So it has to be in the zip code of the MLS that you're in, or the zip codes, multiple. But this is what the neighborhood news looks like. And it is 100% up to date. If someone signs up today in this zip code, and tomorrow someone signs up in this zip code, there may be one or more listings available tomorrow or less than there were today. So it is 100% up to date. And then that recipient gets it once a month. And it is, again, on that month anniversary, they will get, like if I sign myself up today, then I would get it on the 21st of November, 1 month from today. So these are all the listings. I can edit the zip. Let's say, you know what, I really don't want this zip code. I think I'm gonna try another one. I don't know any other zip codes in Temple, Texas, but it would give me additional data. There are some filters here. So the recipient can filter if they're like, yeah, I wanna only look at, 4 bedrooms or more, or only want to look, I want to sort by price, or whatever the case may be. But there's quite a few listings here. It shows them on the map. There's also a mortgage calculator, but here are the trends. So this is what would really be great for sellers, especially if you have a seller that's on the fence and they start looking at what has been going on in the last 12 months. It's like, okay, I'm looking at the median sold prices, and now the days to sell, they were really high in December of last year, and then they got really low in April, but now they're on an upward trend. Active and pendings, the active and pendings together, that's total, is really, really high. So I'm going to have a lot more competition. But what's cool that I think is looking at month to month. Sometimes when we look at a 12-month period, especially for those of you that have been in the business for the last 12 months, the market in January for a seller was way different than it is today. We were still having multiple offers, selling in hours, and going for over list price. That's still happening in some markets. And maybe instead of 5 to 10 offers where they're getting 2 within a 24-hour period, or maybe it's taking 48 hours. But looking at month to month, month over month, what's going on? Wow, the actives are 0. So they are very static in that listing area. The number of solds have gone down. Median price on the sold price has gone down, and then it's gone up for the average days to sell. So what does this tell me? We're in a transitioning market, and from August to September. Then when the October numbers come out, now this is a live piece. So if this is something that you would like to look at, you probably have access to it in your MLS. But you could do a screen capture or something and say, okay, from August, September, this is what happened. Then when October comes out in a few weeks, then you could see what happened from September to October. And if you can start really marking and tracking that downward trend, you're going to have some really good intel that you can share as an agent. So this helps you as well as it does buyers and sellers. And then at the very bottom, if you want some insight, it's like, okay, I don't understand what any of this means. I hear this in the media. I'm reading it now. What does it mean? I'm going to reach out to Andy. I want Andy to kind of explain this to me a little bit more. So this is a huge benefit on the website, is that neighborhood news. You can also, like I said, you can sign them up for that when you are in Moxie Engage. So what I'm going to do now is, let's see. All right, I'm going to got to go back. Here we go. So for the sake of time, we've just got a few more minutes. I do want to show you Impress. Now, unfortunately, because this isn't a demonstration environment, there aren't any listings. So you will see, most likely, if you have listings, when you get to your dashboard, you will see your design library, and there will be marketing projects there, but we don't have any. But this is the design library. It is broken down into product and task. This actually looks a little bit different than what yours does. You will have above this, you will have them broken down into favorites, because just like the stars on 21online.com, you can star certain products if you like them, so that you don't have to filter through 29 different designs or 6 or 7 pages, however many it is. So you have the recently used, you have favorites, you have popular, and there's a fourth option that escapes me right now, but you'll see that if you have listings, it'll have your projects there. So this is in the home page. Here's where you can create a new project, and it just starts from scratch. So you can choose, there's recent, favorites, popular, and featured. So that's what you will see in your design library. So these are all of the designs that you can create, or that will be created for you once you have a listing. So you can start from scratch. Here's a just sold, here's a video, social media, and then some more social media. These down below are product. They are grouped by product or task, and the task are an action. You will see more, because there's just sold, open house, price reduced, coming soon. There's 3 or 4 additional ones in your version that you will see. Since this is a demo version, it doesn't have everything in it. But what I want to do is I'm going to go straight to projects, and just to kind of give you an idea of what they look like. So this one was done in August. So here is a postcard that was created. And you see it's postcard. So it's going by the USPS. It's not an e-postcard. So the only way to distribute it is to download the PDF. So you can do that. You can download it, but you may see some print options over on the left or the right side. You may see Express Docs or something, another resource. So if you wanted to use Express Docs to print this out, there is a charge associated with it, just like if you were to download it and take it to Kinko's or Copy Doctor or Office Depot, which I might add, Office Depot, we do have a discount with they are one of our business benefit partnerships. So there is a discount that you can get at Office Depot for printing. So you might want to check to see what those prices are. So you could go straight to one of these sources, but let's just go ahead and preview it. And it takes the photos, it takes the information that is given in the MLS. So obviously this is not tied to an MLS, but it has verbiage already there. You can edit it. So let's say you don't like the photo that it takes from the MLS, you can go into the edit mode and you can replace it. And you can replace even some of the text that's there. Again, there's really not much that you have to do other than come here, see what's created for you, and then you can then send it out based on what that type of product is. So if you want to make another copy of this, you could do it there. So let's go back to projects and let's see, we were here and I believe there was a social, no, that's a video. Okay. Let me see if there's a social media one just real quick. Let's just try one. Yep. Here's a social media image, and see how you can publish it to the web. You can download it, Facebook, tweet, or put it on Pinterest. And then the links and tools. This is where if you had published it, then you would see if there were any actions and any analytics that were there. So, so this is the distribution methods. And again, you can preview it and it'll show that preview, but hopefully this has a photo on it. We'll see. Just kind of, yeah, there we go. So it says just sold in, and it just didn't finish, but and it says, if thinking of selling your home, contact me. So this is a social media image that you can post in any of your social platforms. All right, we've got 2 minutes left. I am going to stop sharing and see if there are any questions. Colin, is there, I can check the chat, but it looks like you probably, oh, Colin's had to drop off. So, oh, the listings, Janice, did I do that for you or not? The listings, are you talking about on the website?
Yes, I did see where the option was to sort by price.
Yes.
I didn't see whether you can change it to be descending or ascending, you know, high to low or low to high. It looks like it defaults.
I think it defaults just and it's a simple price. I don't believe, and there could be. So let me just go back. Let me go back and look. Let's see. Whoops. Are there any other questions? Yeah, it looks like that's it. So let's let me share again. And we'll check it out. So let's go to my website. Just take a couple of seconds and visit. So let's look here. And also in the, okay, so here's price. So I guess this is going to filter, that's the price. And then the filter here is, yeah, it doesn't look like you can here. That's days on site. There's nothing. Yeah, because it looks like it's doing automatically the highest to the lowest. So most likely if you were looking for something from low to high, maybe it still maybe go in and put the filter price there. Now, when we are in the neighborhood news, let's check that because that's where we can filter as well. And that had a filter to sort by, and it only has just price, and so it does not have the option to choose low to high. That's what I thought, but I just wanted to verify.
Thank you. That's exactly what I was wondering, because when it shows company listings, my office listings, it'd be great to sort them low to high versus high to low.
It would now. So that this would be probably a question or an activity that we could do when we are going over websites.
Okay.
On the Friday, just like today in the Moxie 201 for website. When we talk about that. So there probably is a way to customize that when you get into, displaying your company listings, and that would be something to discuss. It's a little bit more advanced for today, but I love the way that you're thinking and the line that you're taking. But yeah, you can, at least you can sort it that way. I'm one to always find kind of a backdoor, and maybe, if I were to, maybe kind of finagle and say, I want to sort by bedrooms, would that get me low to high? I don't know. Would that do something separate?
Speaking of website classes, last week, Friday, with Colin, was there going to be a recording sent out of that Moxie website from last Friday?
You know what? If he did not send it out, I will send it out today.
Oh, great. Thank you.
I sure will. And I appreciate your being on here, and for all of you that are on that continue to come back. I'd like to think that it's us, but I know it's the content. And I don't know about you, but I know that I have to hear things and see things. If I write something down, I normally remember it. But there is so much to each one of these tools in the MoxiWorks suite of products that to learn everything. And just sitting through 1 hour session, even if it's just 1 hour on each of the tool, it's very difficult. And because you have each of us doing something different, we all have different ways, and we have our favorites and our things that we talk about that we gravitate to. So, you might hear something totally different. Not that it's wrong, just taking a different approach when Colin teaches or Andy teaches and when I do it. So I appreciate you being here. I know I've seen you before. Appreciate you coming back and wanting to really learn it and grasp onto everything that you can. So let's see, any marketing materials and impress. Impress is, yes, you could use that if you wanted to use Impress to, throw some bait out there. But but it is tied to a listing. So if you keep that in mind, basically you would probably want to use Moxie Engage if you're trying to really reel someone in or trying to fish in for new people. You could use Engage. Now, you could use the social media images and collateral that's created for you in Impress. Post those out there. If you have people that are following you or that see your social media sites, then it can show you and you can be represented as the real estate expert. So that could help you reel them in too. So definitely there's a way to use Impress to do that. But and that would be casting a wide net by sending out information. You could send out just listed postcards, just sold postcards. If you have emails, you could do just listed and just sold emails as well. Those are the e-postcards. So that would help you try to generate some new people, if you will. So, but if you wanted to do one-on-one direct, that would be more in the Engage. So did that answer your question, Joshua? Yeah, perfect. Are there any other questions? Well, I should be getting this this recording. I got the one that Colin did for managers right before, almost immediately. So I will send this recording out. I'll send the recording if you were on the website session last week. If it did go out, I'm sorry if it missed some of you, but I will resend that. So you'll get both of them for those of you that attended both classes. And we're going to start over again next week with one of the tools, and we'll be touching on each one of the tools. I believe next week might be Moxie Present, if I'm not mistaken. So we will talk about Moxie Present next Friday, same bat time, same bat channel. So thank you all for being here. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your Friday day and a great weekend. And I'm not sure where you are, but let's go Astros, right? Thanks a lot.
Thank you.